Jesus freak here. Ugh. I'm just steeling myself for tomorrow morning. Because usually I don't have to do a lot of walking. But I guess you could say it's pretty much a perfect storm of inconvenience to myself and others that the second fell on a Saturday, and I haven't been able to ask anyone for a ride on Monday. So I'm going to have to handle things myself. This way. Now, on one hand, it's like, yeah, I wish I didn't have to. On the other hand, honestly, it's just taking responsibility for myself rather than foisting it off on everyone else. Now, there are alternatives. If I wanted to, I could take a bus about 2/3 of the way there, get a cab the rest of the way. But you see, when the current situation began last year, I said I thought that instead of making the buses free for a few weeks like they did, they should have shut them down until the situation blew over. And I said, at this point, if I use a bus before it's all over, and if I use a taxi before it's all over, that makes me a hypocrite, and I refuse to be a hypocrite. So some might say, well, aren't you cutting off your nose to spite your face? Yeah, maybe I am. I just feel that my moral standards come before my convenience. Now, I've said, well, it's a little further away than my church, and I don't generally walk to church. I used to before I moved. And I know it's further because I've walked from my old place to the rental office where I gotta go tomorrow. Because I misunderstood when Pastor Brett said he was going to pick me up there. I thought he meant he was going to pick me up at the rental office, and he meant he was going to pick me up at my place. So I basically walked like 3 miles for nothing. I think it's about a mile from here to my old place, so that's walking 4 miles each way. Do I think it's out of the question? Not really. I think I've walked further. Back when I lived up in Youngstown, out by my old school, there was one day I walked from there into the village proper, which I think was about 3 miles. I think it was 6 miles from there down to Lewiston. And I think I walked halfway home. So that'll total up to about 10 miles. I was completely burned out, but I did it. Now, I don't know if I have the same stamina I had 10 years ago. But necessity tends to push me to do more than I thought I could. And I said, you know what? It's not going to be a bad thing. Like I said, it's taking responsibility for myself for the first time in a year and a half. Instead of just, will you do this for me? Will you do this for me? I'm doing this for me, myself. And maybe I need to start doing it more often. When I reach the home stretch, just before I turn off on that last road that I got to walk that last, I think it's about a mile or so. There's a Family Dollar and there's a 7-Eleven. You know what? I can plan this all out. It's not going to be a problem. I walk as far as 7-Eleven, go in, grab a sports drink, because that's what I do when I have a lot of walking to do. Grab a Slim Jim or something so I have a bite. Keep my energy up. Take a rest for a few minutes. Recover a bit. And just keep going. Have another sports drink for the road. Go in, do what I gotta do. Take my time coming back. Am I concerned? No. And I'm not going to let myself use my heart as a crutch. Last year, I did a stupid and walked. Well, this wasn't this was 2019, December 26th. Went over to Canada. Didn't realize that even though most of the businesses were still going to be open normal hours, buses weren't going to be running on the normal schedule. And I wound up walking about 4 miles. Walking from my place. Actually, I think it was about 5.5 miles, because it was about 1.5 miles to the bridge. Then I walked up to McDonald's. That's an uphill walk, too. Then I walked the rest of the way, which I was able to trace because I knew enough of the lay of the land, even though I wasn't familiar with exactly where I was. Walked to the supermarket I usually hit when I'm there. And yeah, I grabbed the bus the rest of the way from there, back most of the way to the bridge. So I think I still got it. I'm not worried. For me, it's like I've had a year and a half. I've been lucky enough, or fortunate enough, or blessed enough, or choose your word, that I've been able to get 2 people to do things for me every month. Neither of them are available. So maybe it's time I started to stop asking for help. Put my big boy pants on and take care of it myself. And that's what I'm going to do. Jesus freak out.